Hello everyone, welcome to the Ichimoku charts.com daily analysis for the Euro US dollar FX for Thursday, November 8, 2012. Well, a continuation of the trend to the downside today in a candle that's made a lower high and a lower low. Previous day's trading we had an indecisive outside day in bar chart terms, a day of indecision. Very strong price rejection from within this highlighted zone of previous support and resistance that extends from 127.44 down to roughly 126.40, and today we've seen the market test down to within that area and be rejected from that area as well. The market has closed just at the top of that level, so it does highlight how strong this level of support is for this very large zone highlighted in grey. A black bodied candle again, and that denotes the sellers making net bearish progress. So we've seen the sellers continue that momentum to the downside, but a slightly smaller body. It does suggest that the sellers have lost a small amount of momentum. By the same token, the buyers really haven't shown any strength in this market throughout the trading day, so that's significant. There aren't any signs that we are going to get a change of trend, other than the fact that the momentum of the sellers has weakened slightly and that the market is closed up around the midpoint level, and that suggests that the sellers have failed to take control of this market. They tested down into this level, they were rejected strongly from there, they lost commitment down around that level, and neither side has closed with control. And the story here really, other than that, is that the buyers have failed to take control. Now, the important thing, however, is that with this trend continuing down and the sellers starting to weaken, there is potential for a change of trend. We want to see buying coming in. So obviously we're looking for a higher high and a higher low. So the high, roughly around 27.79 becomes very important for this market. And if this market does trade up through there, then we could see a decent rally up to the 128.57 level. Now, if this trend does continue down, if we do see the sellers take control of this market once again, we could potentially see the market trade down to the bottom of this shaded area around the 126.40 area, and that coincides roughly with the bottom of the cloud, so we should expect to see very strong support down around there. In terms of the Fibonacci extension, we're trading in a bearish manner down below the 161.8% for the previous day. A little bit of indecisiveness in this market now with the sellers losing commitment, but there is still potential for the market to trade down to the 261.8%, which is at 126.51. And with the Fibonacci retracement trading below the 161.8%, next target is at 126.58 at the 261.8%. In terms of Ichimoku, obviously a neutral market in the big picture terms and the long-term time frames, so the market's trading within the cloud. But we have a bearish market in the medium and fast-term time frames by trading below the Kijun Sen and the Tenkan Sen. And for the previous day's trading, we saw how the market attempted to rally to the Tenkan Sen and was strongly rejected from there, and it coincided with the top of the cloud, so very strong resistance overhead for this market if we do see the market rally. At the moment there is a possibility of the Kijun Sen pointing flat, but that's reflecting the trading that we're seeing at the moment that hasn't fully developed. So there is potential for the market to rally back towards there if we do see a weak candle today, but let's not preempt the market. The Chica span here is below the corresponding price action, so it's confirming the negativity that we're seeing in the medium and fast term time frames, but certainly not the neutrality that we're seeing with the market trading within the cloud. We are waiting for a bullish or bearish breakout from the cloud for a clear direction in big picture terms. But moving forward, obviously the low of the current candle is important for a potential continuation of the trend to the downside. We are trading within this zone of previous support and resistance. There is a strong possibility the market could be rejected from there. The sellers aren't looking terribly strong, but neither are the buyers, so that does suggest that there is potential for a change of trend. And what we're looking for is if we see the buyers come back into the market strongly, there is a possibility of a rally up to 128.57. But if we do see a close and a down below the low of today's trading and a bearish close, there is a possibility of the market testing down to 126.40. Now, in terms of the hourly chart, and we have a lot of indecisive trading here, a lot of weak trading, the market attempting to rally up through the Kijun Sen and the Tenkan Sen, finding resistance up around the 127.50 level, and some very strong rejection from there for these previous three candles. We can see that the market's been strongly rejected from there, and as this candle is currently developing, it's trading down below all of the three Ichimoku indicators. If we do have a bearish close down below there, then there's a likelihood that the market will test down to lower levels, and initially down to 127.30 and perhaps even down to the 127.20 area. But we do have very strong support down to this level. If we look at the shadows on the bottom of these candles, very strong upside price rejection from this area. A bearish close down below here will see the market trading substantially lower, but we should see solid support coming in anywhere through this area here. We are trading within that large zone of that shaded area. And here on the 15-minute chart, here we can see the market was rallying here, testing to the top of this highlighted area, and we had a few tests, unsuccessful tests up above the cloud, and every time that the market was testing up above there, it was on fairly weak candles, some white body candles, but largish shadows on the top of these, and that's representing the buyers losing commitment. The last time the market tested up through there, roughly about an hour or hour and a half ago, was on a fairly weak candle, and the market has sold off and is now trading down below the cloud to give us a bearish market in all three time frames. Some bullishness coming into the market at the moment, likely to find resistance around the cloud, roughly around this 127.38, 127.40 area, and possibility of the market selling off, but very, very solid support down below as well.